Yes, guys, we're live. It's time for the preview to the first round of the FIA Formula One World Championship in 2021. Yes, Formula One is back, and it's back with a vengeance, and it's back with what looks like to be a good set title race, right? Because the champions Mercedes have not got off to the best starts in testing.
They're fucked.
They're still. Shut up. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Fucked.
Right, let me finish. Right, yes. So they haven't got off to the best starts in testing. They need to obviously look at the sort of. They've been doing loads of different programs during the session to try and get the right balance in the car. Norris looking very strong in the McLaren. But Verstappen at the moment topping the timesheets in the Red Bull. But like we said, you don't know what the actual pace they'll have until qualifying. We have seen this in the past, and we have also seen in the past. Shut up! Shut up! Yeah, it's one Grand Prix. That's one Grand Prix, right? We know that we have got. They ain't. We got 22 other Grand Prix after that, and no driver in the grid has been able to keep up the level of consistency throughout a season that we know as Lewis Hamilton. So it is never over until the fat lady sings, especially with Mercedes.
And the fat lady is singing in the Mercedes garage.
He might be singing. He might be singing on his stream, but he might at the minute. But he's definitely not singing in the garage. But first, before we get into this, please smash it.
Really helps us out. Thanks.
I mean, that's just
hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and do all that jazz. But yes, we'll get into it. So obviously, after winter testing, there were a number of teams coming out very well in that testing session, which is only one set of testing. You get 2 sets of F1 testing, but they've only limited it to 1. And yeah, what I will do is I'll do as an update, the tyre regulations, they have changed slightly. So what we said before, where they were saying you can pick what tyres you want, they're now a set standard. You now get 8 sets of softs throughout a weekend, 3 of them for the race, 2 sets of mediums for the race, and 1 set of hard tyres for a race. So to use in qualifying and race. So out of the 6 sets, 2 of them are mediums, 1 of them are hards, and the other 3 are soft. So it's more managing your tyre situation at the minute. Get through some of the comments. Where are you? Let's be having you. Yes, we're here. Robert Slater, nice to see you in the chat. If you are new, please hit the subscribe button. Big up, everyone. Steven, your camera looks really bad.
No, it's no, 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 it's all right.
Brutal.
It's fine.
Brutality.
Hi, Chris. How's things, pal? If you could spell the name right, mate, it might fucking help.
Whoa! The brutality. The brutality.
Jesus Christ! I've taught my new. I need another thumbnail. It's a bit late for the preview one. I need the thumbnail for the banter.
Whoa.
I need the banter one.
Whoa.
I need the banter one. Then I need tomorrow's ones as well. I need them by the evening.
Whoa.
Got to get ahead of yourself, man.
There's only one of him.
I know. But anyway, I do appreciate all the work he does. Actually, to be honest, I really do.
Yeah,
I can't do. Shut up! I can't do the work he did. I can't do the level he can do. If we don't get a final this season, Euro South, I'm not talking about England, right? This is why I'm probably because I've got a Wembley background. That's probably why.
There we go.
That's better.
Use the McLaren one that I sent you.
I didn't get the memo.
I literally, we agreed last time. I sent it you on Twitter.
I haven't.
No. We agreed last time we agreed on the last one that I'd send you a nice one of one that we actually like, that we can both like, and you agreed that you'd use that one. So I'm not talking until you put it up.
Send me the text you want, and I did. I did, mate.
It's okay, Talk Man, you mate. He seems a liability at the moment. He didn't do what we agreed he would do. Liability.
Because I like
liability.
Hamilton too much.
That is a liability.
Okay, I can change it. No, I'll make it available. Look, I'll put.
No. Use one we agreed.
Okay.
You said you.
All right. How about Schumacher?
Yeah, Schumacher. I can handle Schumacher.
Schumacher and Hamilton.
No, not Schumacher and Hamilton.
Well,
make it something not McLaren.
I'm not uploading it right now, so there we are.
Well, you let me down, Stephen. You've let me down.
Do you know what? Actually, we should do. We should do the Bahrain Grand Prix sunset or something.
Yeah, I agree. How about every time we do it like the track thing?
Yeah, do it for the track. So
I don't have to look at Lewis's face all the
time.
Yeah,
it's bad enough you have to look at him at the intro.
I know it's bad enough, mate. Let's not make me jump out the window right now, eh?
Yeah, well, we won't want that, would we?
No, absolutely not. Chris would be devastated.
Indeed.
See?
Oh.
I swear, if this is something with Hamilton in, I'll be raging. I'll be so angry. I'll be so angry. It's actually unreal.
That's another one.
I'm not sure I'll be able to control my anger.
Release your anger.
Release the anger.
Right, let me just get this quickly, and let me just upload the go to downloads.
So he's having some technical difficulties because he didn't.
Technical difficulties.
Because you didn't agree with what you didn't do what we agreed, so I'm very disappointed in you, Stephen.
Okay, I'm changing it. Don't worry. I'm changing it.
I swear, if this has Hamilton,
got to wait for upload.
So if this has Hamilton in, I'm gonna be so mad.
It's
big
taking
up to everyone in the chat.
Big up everyone in the chat, by the way.
You're about to see some rage.
From a fine Mr. Yeah, look, if you want Malwams, you're gonna have to do it, man. Yeah, I'll give you Malwams after.
No, I agree with him. Like,
Robotic Jaguar, how are you?
Big up, RJ.
Yeah, there you go. Look.
Oh, for fuck's sake! This is ridiculous. Do you know what?
It's Bahrain.
I don't care. You know precisely why I'm saying, "Oh, for fuck's sake." Not impressed, Stephen. I'm relieving you of your duties. Yes, is that got him in there?
I don't know. Don't look like it.
Nah, it doesn't look like it.
Luckily, my beautiful face covers it, so we can handle with that.
Well, it did with the other one, so I don't know what you're getting at.
No, I could see part of the rear wing. It was antagonizing me.
But yes, 100 subs for the big up to Let's Talk Premier League. 100 subs, please. Everyone subscribe. I'm 23 away. I'm 24 to 28. Sorry, away from 100. For 800.
RJ, FYI, we need 307 people in the United show tonight, else you failed.
Yeah.
That's how many we had in. That's how many we had for the under 21 Euros.
Yeah. So back to it.
I like setting RJ unrealistic targets.
Yeah. Bahrain then obviously is well known for not being great on sort of time management. I think the last time we were at the Bahrain Grand Prix, there was 2 stops throughout that Grand Prix, and It's always been very harsh on tyres.
One of them was fairly big, wasn't it? Oh, that was at the week. Oh, you on about Bahrain or are you on about the Sakhir Grand Prix? Those two, remember?
No, the Bahrain really, because this
Bahrain. Yes,
Bahrain.
there was a very big accident in that one. I just want to quickly say that. I just want to quickly say the testament to the FIA and to all of the safety that's now in Formula One that Romain Grosjean was able to have that impact.
Absolutely.
Be sat in a ball of fire and to still come out with only minor burns to his hands and feet is quite remarkable with how far Formula One's come.
Absolutely. I can't say that any better, to be honest. Chris, what are you saying, mate, about this Grand Prix so far?
It's gonna be interesting, isn't it? Like, obviously, we saw at practice. If anyone watched it, the first 2 practice sessions. I know I'm still not judging it on practice, but it's looking good for Verstappen so far. Yeah, Niall's happy about that.
Always happy about that.
The team I'm obsessed with, AlphaTauri. I told everyone. Okay, surprise package. Norris doing well, but it's all about qualifying, really. That's when it matters. But I expect it to be close. I reckon be close. Yeah, all over the field.
Yeah. So, anything you want to add to that? No.
I mean, I predict that the Carlsberg drive around the circuit. One of them is going to win the race. But no,
I mean, being serious.
Being serious. Well, that is sort of serious. I mean, tell me something that I just said that wasn't factual. You can't do it.
I know. But stop trying to be like Murray Walker and just actually be serious.
No one can ever be Murray Walker. That is disrespectful to Murray Walker. I am my own person, although I am better than any other commentator that we currently have.
James Gordon.
I'm better than him. He's like the B-Tech version of me. That's how I see it. But no, in all seriousness, Verstappen looks like he's really got the car underneath him. It looks like potentially Red Bull have actually got a car ready to fight, which doesn't surprise me because there wasn't an awful lot of regulation changes this year, which does mean that the advantage is for Red Bull because they ended last season very strongly. Now, obviously, you can't base everything on the timing screens, but the key one that I want. Well, of course, qualifying will definitely be more telling. For me, Lando doing a smashing job, sort of in the McLaren, which I expected. I mean, they've got a Mercedes power unit behind them now. That's really going to help them, I think. Their chassis has always been one of the better ones on the grid of recent years. Obviously, the Honda stuff was a car crash, literally. But no, I think some of the other ones. The other one was Leclerc, obviously all the way down in 12th and Sainz up in 4th. Now, I don't believe that's where they're going to be, but that is quite telling.
That is quite telling, actually.
Possibly Sainz has got the Ferrari under control a little bit better than Leclerc, which would be quite surprising if I'm being real. Like, tomorrow will tell us. But the thing is, if Tsunoda, Sainz, or Vettel out-qualifies their teammate, I think that really shows that one of them that's going to be an issue for the.
I do feel with Vettel that he will out-qualify Ocon. I do feel that.
Well, his teammate is strong. Yeah, his teammate is strong. It's going to be interesting. I expect that Russell will get more performance out of his car as well. I do expect that Alonso and Vettel will get more out of their cars, as will Leclerc. I don't think Tsunoda will be in the top 10 this week. I'll be surprised if Gasly is. as well. But no, it's interesting that I think also quite telling is Bottas and Ricardo were very close on the timing sheet. Now, obviously, we know we can't base it all on timings, but that's quite telling as well. As Bottas sort of lost.
Yeah, I would say that,
lost
but
the car.
I mean, as much as Mercedes were struggling, they were just about maybe only a tenth or two off Red Bull. So they're not struggling. That's what I'm saying. They're not struggling that much.
Finished 0.235 seconds behind. So
how much?
200 tenths of a second.
There you go. So they're not struggling that much, and it reminds me of 2018 because they weren't the strongest in testing. They just did mileage. And
yeah, I would agree with you normally, but this year there's been
first
limited,
2 races.
Yeah, but there's been limited regulation changes.
I understand that, but what I also see is that I think where they've been hit hard compared to other teams is that most teams, like at the minute, are playing sort of a high rake sort of design car, where they raise the rear to try and push more downforce onto the car. Now, Mercedes throughout their time have not done that. They've always been far lower compared to, say, more of a Red Bull, where it's more of a slant like that. The Mercedes, if you look at it, it's been more flat. Now, today's testing, they were trying to get it up to try and bring more rear downforce because of the restrictions of downforce in the rear. And that's why I think they've been hit hard because the car design doesn't do it.
I'm watching their laps. Their laps are right in front of me, side by side, and it looks like you know the sort of S's sort of the S section. Yeah. So you've come out the first corner, you've gone through that bit, you've gone up the hill, then you take that, and then you've got the S's sort of there, right? That's where it looks to me that Hamilton has lost most of his time. Now, what that would suggest to me is that,
to be honest,
he's not as confident, I don't think, with the car that Max is. Now, whilst I would agree, normally Mercedes have done this before. At that point, the field were nowhere near them. Don't forget that year.
Well, Ferrari were in 2018.
Oh yeah, but Ferrari always fuck it up towards the end. That's Ferrari. Come on. When have Ferrari ever actually maintained an actual fight? But whereas Red Bull were nowhere near them that year. And Red Bull are notorious for delivering a shit car at the start of the season. There's not been many changes. So they've essentially almost got a replica of last year's car with the few updates and the few changes that have needed to be made. That could be a benefit to Red Bull because it means that they can hit straight away. And if we look at the end of last season, Verstappen was quicker, Red Bull were quicker. And now you've got to ask, there's 2 drivers in there that are capable. Perez, a top driver.
Yep.
I think that's where the issue could be for Mercedes, that if they don't fix it quickly, a couple races could destroy their season. And that's going to be the worry. Especially if Lando...
Season, though.
It's a very long season.
Especially if Lando starts getting in front of them. So if Lando, let's say, outbeats Lewis or something, right? And Hamilton's dropping down the timings. He's not just second, he's like 3rd or 4th. Then I think it's going to be a long way back, and they're going to have to get that car sorted quite quickly. So it is going to be interesting. But
the reason I said 2018, for example, is that their car was very temperamental, especially when it came to sort of their tires. Yeah, but I understand that. But it's where they've had issues before is that the first four races, count out Australia because it's a bit of a weird circuit to be honest, but the first 4 races they were struggling to get the car to work with to get the tire to work with the tires in the right temperature windows, and whereas the Ferrari was straight bang on the pace, and even Red Bull were keeping up with them at times if they didn't have a Renault power unit failure. And it was, I mean, the first race win they had was only due to the fact that there was a virtual safety car and Vettel fucked up for turn 1 on the restart.
Yeah, I would agree, but this isn't 2018. This is a new season. The teams are closer. the car is virtually the same as it was last season. The regulation changes haven't been widespread like they could normally be. So it's essentially just a remix of last season. And last season, Red Bull were outdoing Mercedes on a lot of the tracks. We look at Abu Dhabi, which is favored to be a very anti-Red Bull track. They don't tend to do very well at Abu Dhabi, and they won, and quite convincingly with Max. So whilst I agree you can compare them, you sort of can't compare them in a way as well, because this is a completely different season. And Mercedes had such an advantage in 2018 that they could just outdo that gap. It's not going to be similar. It's not going to be the same ability. So I think if Mercedes by race 3 isn't in the sort of in the groove, then if I was Toto, I'd be starting to be a little bit concerned.
I think that's probably why that when there's 23 races is a bit of a relief. But then to be honest, the problem there with this season is that because obviously with the COVID pandemic, we can't guarantee every single race is going to be there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because situations can change, and mostly will be there. And I do feel that by the summer, fans will be allowed back, and things will be different. Whereas a football stadium filled with 60-odd thousand fans and a Grand Prix circuit filled with over 100, 200,000 fans is safe is a bit of a difference.
Yeah, but they if we look at last season, they only really lost the sort of races at the start of the season where the pandemic was raging. Now, whilst and that was also at a point where F1 couldn't really prove to do it in a sort of COVID safe way, whereas they've now had an entire 17 race season.
They have their own COVID regulation.
However long, I think it was 17 or 18, if someone could correct me, races last season.
17.
They've now been able to prove that they can hold a COVID secure race sort of in these countries, and with the strong protocols they have, the face masks and all of that. So it's an interesting one, that's for sure. Obviously you've got Italy, Portugal, Spain, and then Monaco.
I think if they haven't
sorted it by Monaco, that's when I'll start to be concerned if I'm Toto Wolff.
But I will say with also the COVID pandemic is obviously they're going to different countries, and obviously different countries are dealing with it in their own way. So the thing great with F1 is that they have their own set of regulations. Look, you may do it you may do this in your own country, but this is how we're going to do it. Right? This is how we're making it secure. So then they don't change it because one is more relaxed than the other.
It's consistent all the way through. No, I do agree with that.
But in terms of the stewarding, the F2, sorry, this season's changed a fair bit as well. They're now doing 2 sprint races with a practice and qualifying, then with a feature race as well on a Sunday. So feature races moved to a Sunday, and you have that mandatory pit stop. There's sprint race. There's qualifying for sprint race 1, and then I think the grid's then reversed for sprint race 2 because they're both on Saturday, and then I think it's then the winner of that is pole for the feature race. That's how I think it works. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to double check that. But that's what I got the understanding was when I watched the YouTube. The thing is as well, if anyone wants a guide to F1 at the minute, best thing to do is subscribe to their YouTube channel. Because their YouTube channel, you've got every team guide, the F1 guide, the F2 guide, right? So you get to, and also there's tech talk as well, so all the technology. Because as a fan, I can give you sort of the basic sort of technology, say like how apparently it will work or something like that. But when it comes to like setting the cars and stuff like that,
They have an app called F1 Race Guide. That's really good for beginners if you want to. I'm just downloading to see what it actually does, and I can tell you.
But it's like with David Croft said on this stream here on this channel, is that if you're starting out in F1, don't try and get yourself buried in the tech and the finer details. Just know the basics of the rules, the basic rules, regulations, the drivers, the teams, and go from there. And then if you want explanation, because then the commentators and like Martin Brundle, who's more the expert commentator, will then give you a sort of breakdown if a situation happens and give you a description from their punditry point of view. And I will say most of their pundits are pretty good, to be honest, unlike some of the football ones. So a bit like their stewarding, to be honest. But there you go.
FYI, the track guide is pretty shit because it actually is like if you're going to that track. So
So
I thought it was going to be really good. I thought it was going to give you like a guide of the track and all of that, but it doesn't. It's pile of shit. Thank you.
You
pile of shit.
I don't know. Everyone said they wanted to join in for this Grand Prix thing. Yeah. And then
you got me and Chris. What more do you want? Me and Chris are more than enough for.
No. This is
Chris, he's trying to replace us, bro.
No, it's people that want to go on and.
I'll see how it is.
Yeah. Hang on. I'm just looking at latest. If Melina's in the chat, I'll talk to you later. I'm okay for now. I'll talk to you later because after the stream. But yeah. So what we'll do is we will be doing the match the match reviews we do for football. We're gonna sort of do for the F1. So we're gonna describe how the race went, particular incidents, stuff like that, stewarding, how we see it. Yeah, of course we're doing a watch along, and then we're doing a sort of a review or an overview of it of the weekend, and then we're gonna rate like the tier maker I've got for us for ratings. We're gonna do a tier. We're gonna do a tier ratings of all the drivers and the teams as well. So we're gonna rate. We're all gonna be on the same tier maker, but we're gonna have also like the team alongside drivers ratings.
So you'd be rating them after each race.
Either that, or I can do a separate drivers rating or a separate teams rating.
No, as long as we do it sort of like drivers first, then chuck in the cars after, it'll be all fine. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I might do it as a picture for each car.
I've got a question for you, Stephen.
Yeah.
When was the first race in Bahrain?
2004.
Correct. Well, round of applause.
Michael Schumacher and Barrichello 1-2.
I have no idea about that much. Let's what is the lap?
I was a Schumacher fan, so of course I was going to know that.
Who holds the lap record?
Who qualified last season?
Nope.
Oh no, it ain't last season either.
Nope.
Sebastian Vettel?
You are wrong. The lap record is Pedro Della Rosa. In 2005, he set a time of 1 minute 31 seconds, 440
in the race.
Just says lap record. That's
in the race.
Record.
Yeah,
lap record would be in a race. Lap records have to be in a race. So
yeah, that must be.
That's surprising. Yeah. I would have thought it would have been somewhere.
Yeah, you'd never got that, would you, Pedro?
No, because most of the records have been broken by this year's generation of cars.
Yeah.
So that's why I was expecting it to be. But so it probably just shows why it's probably Bahrain such a unique. So what do you think? But what do you think of the international, the Bahrain and international circuit? How do you rate the layout?
I like it. When I had my PlayStation before,
We could also do like a team maker, say what's the best circuit.
Oh yeah, that would be good. When I used to have my PlayStation, I was really good at Bahrain. Really bloody good. Just so smooth and so flowing. It's not they stop start.
I always struggle that turn 9-10 is a pain in the arse.
Oh, mate. I always hit it straight away.
I sometimes do it, but sometimes I end up locking up.
Yeah, no, you want to hit it sort of just after you left turn 9 and into turn. It's so difficult. Like, it must be a pain in the ass for someone as shit as Lewis, but I'm sure he's got someone to help him with that.
Shut up.
Lewis is allowed ABS because he's getting a bit older and a bit shit.
Link. Okay, if you want to get back into it, I can send you the link. Now,
right. Best driver on the grid is Max Verstappen.
Oh no, he's not. So don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
He's
got to win a title yet to get that sort of.
Max is the best driver of all time.
No, he's not.
He is.
All time? Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Of all time, he is the best. He is the best of all time. So hang on. So what is it? So if he wins it this season, so we just say, oh, he had to win it because like Mercedes has struggled at the first start of the season.
No,
he had to get Mercedes to struggle at the start of the season. He couldn't do it in a straight and out fight.
You just say that because he's got a bit more older, a bit more mature.
I'm just going to use every sort of excuse to make that. That they use for Hamilton. They use for Hamilton to say he's not a good driver.
Of course you would, because you don't like him. But the fact that Max.
No, I'm just throwing back the same excuse that everyone else.
No. It's because you don't like Max. It's quite clear, bro. But talking about Max, if he does win,
send the link.
I think that'll be a huge achievement. I think it'll be because he's getting older, a bit more mature. He's able to change his driving style a bit more. I think it'll be a great achievement. And I actually think this season, and I'm not even joking, I think this is a really good opportunity for Max to actually go on and win the title. If he wins that,
this is his biggest opportunity before the shake-up in 2022. You don't know what to expect in 2022. We don't
know what the Red Bull car or any other car is going to look like in 2022. But this is his best opportunity since pretty much he's come into Formula One. And I think if he wins it, people shouldn't be surprised because Max has been building to this. If he doesn't win it, again, you can't really be surprised because Lewis has got the best car.
Yeah.
So Max is if Lewis doesn't win it, Max will win it.
But if he starts out with a slow car and still ends up winning a title, then you can't really say that.
I will continue to say he beat he cheated.
You got to stop the agenda, man. You got to stop the agenda.
I'll stop the agenda once you stop the Max agenda. We'll make a deal. And somehow I feel like you're not going to stop the Max agenda, so I get to carry on my Lewis agenda.
I have never denied his talent. I've never denied that. It's just the way he goes about his racing.
Say on a stream that Max Verstappen is the second best driver on the grid.
He's the second best driver on the grid.
Yeah.
Okay, Lewis is the best driver on the grid.
Lewis is the best driver on the grid.
But would you be surprised if Max did genuinely win the title this year?
No, because he's got the talent. He just needs a quick enough car. I've always said that. I've always said that. You can look at previous streams. If Red Bull gave him a car that at day one was as fast as the Mercedes, he could take Hamilton on in a straight fight.
Do you think if
never
Max
denied that?
If Max won, let's say, I know these are all hypotheticals, but let's say Max won this race and the next two races, do you think that would be a concern for Lewis, or because? He's always concerned when he loses. That has been but that has been the thing, hasn't it? The Red Bull haven't normally delivered a car at the start, and they've normally improved towards the end. If Red Bull deliver a car at the start of the season, that must be a concern for Mercedes and Lewis, wouldn't it?
That's
like a major alarm bell.
Yeah,
that's what Red Bull
possibly. But again, it's like I said. I mean, if you look at it 2 weeks ago. they were struggling. I mean, they were even struggling to get in the top 3.
But
with the amount of spins and everything like that.
neither of us are naive enough to look at the testing times.
But even then, but I know that. But even then, you look at now 2 weeks later, they've now got some control over that car. Not complete control, but they have improved the car. They've already come up with updates already. So I'm saying each Grand Prix is different.
No, but what I'm saying is hypothetically, if Max was win the first 3 races and Red Bull
of course, a bit concerned. Of course, a bit concerned
and Red Bull deliver a car, because the thing is, Red Bull get better with towards the end of the season. It's been their trajectory all the time. They always get better. Whereas Ferrari, we all know, start well and then fade away into some oblivious monsoon of shit.
The modern day Ferrari, that is.
Yeah. Obviously, the Schumacher Ferrari would never go into a maroon of shit.
Even 2007, 2008.
Well, yeah. But that was still very much the Ferrari of Schumacher. Still a lot of people there. A lot of that has gone now.
2010.
Not really.
We got to the last race. And 2012, the Alonso. I think 2012 was more Alonso.
In the hybrid era. Yeah, in the hybrid era. Yeah. 2013, wasn't it? But in 14. The hybrid era, Red Bull or 14, Red Bull have always consistently got better. Ferrari have always decreased in the season, and Mercedes have normally been there, or they've had to really put in some arguments. So this would be an interesting fight, really. But I'm excited.
Yeah, I think Red Bull, that's what they need to do, darling, for the first 3 races. Try be on Mercedes' tail or even ahead of them. So.
Yeah, Daniel, you all right, mate?
Yeah. Why not be?
Yeah. What do you want to say about the Grand Prix coming up?
I don't know. I just want to start watching it again, see what happens.
Well, yeah. I mean,
the best driver is Max Verstappen, Daniel, right?
No, we've already just agreed. He's the second best driver, so shut up. Right?
Yeah, he would know my favourite of all time is, so I'm not going to,
Who's your favourite of all time?
Michael Schumacher.
Michael Schumacher.
Fair enough.
Would you say that Hamilton beats him if he wins it this season?
No, never.
What?
My bias will never go away from him.
No, and the reason I don't agree with that, and this isn't because of my agendas against Lewis. The cars were so difficult to drive in Schumacher's era. So difficult.
Yeah, but the problem is...
But 1 minute. That's not to discredit the cars nowadays. There's absolutely no way to discredit the drivers either. But the cars these days, and even Lewis can tell you, because he said it before, the cars when he first came in were much harder.
Of course, yeah.
So I wouldn't...
I get that point.
I wouldn't say it's more of an achievement. And also, if you think Schumacher normally had someone sort of pushing him a bit more forward, you either had like Hakkinen or the McLarens were fairly decent. The Mercedes have had a dog shit Ferrari pushing them. So whilst Lewis will go down as one of the greats, I don't think just because he's got that
20. I'm sorry, 20.
But 1 minute. Just because he has
was not the 2018 half of that season they were behind.
But that's one season out of the 6 he's had. Like one season. What I'm saying is that for majority of these seasons, they've had a dog shit Ferrari trying to push them. Whereas Schumacher
in 2008, Ferrari won the constructors, and they just about won the driver.
You're literally proving my point in terms of back then the cars were harder, Ferrari were better. He had to work harder. Under Mercedes, where he's won the majority of his titles, he's had the dog shit Ferrari pushing him forwards, and that's not really been an effort considering Vettel has lost pretty much most of his driving ability by the looks of it. Man looks like he could barely drive a road car, let alone a Formula 1 car. Wheel-to-wheel racing has definitely not been favouring Sebastian Vettel recently. So I don't think you can say that Lewis he's got that extra title that he's better than Schumacher. I actually think that's quite disrespectful to Schumacher and the era that he was in. But I also don't think you can compare era to era. Just like I would never dream of comparing Schumacher to some of the drivers in the 60s because
we've had this debate on the stream before, and as like I said, is that it could be a very preference choice.
Yeah,
I do. Feel
I just don't think there's any way you can compare them because there is no way you would compare Michael Schumacher to Villeneuve back in the 60s, would you?
Or Michael Schumacher to Manuel Fangio.
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't compare these. The way
Who
I
was
do
like
it,
the Godfather. I mean, back then they were fucking difficult.
And the way I do it, I do it for football as well. Just like I'd never compare Messi to fucking Maradona.
Pele.
Like you just couldn't do that, right? What I tend to do is I split them up in eras and go, okay, so that era it was that, and that's similar to Formula One. The Schumacher era is the Schumacher era. Dominated the Schumacher era. Is he will be known as the greatest driver of all time in that era. In this era, it will go to Lewis because he's got the one with the most titles.
Yeah,
we're probably heading into a new era now with new cars and all of that. The younger lot coming through. It'll be interesting to see who dominates that era. But I don't think you can make comparisons between eras, even if it is 1 or 2 away. I think it's very difficult because the cars are so different. It makes it so difficult.
Of course. As I said, we did a debate stream about it, and that's the thing. We said that already. I mean, I was always a Schumacher fan before Hamilton stepped in the car. Right, obviously when Schumacher left, Raikkonen went to Ferrari, and who took his place in the McLaren was Lewis Hamilton. So, after his first turn into a corner, that was it. I was a Hamilton fan, but I was always a big Schumacher fan anyway. I think the only difference, I would say, is that I've never seen blatant cheating, which is like Monaco 2006, 1997, 1994.
It's very rare. Look, everyone gains advantages, right? Yeah, Schumacher. The best person to describe
there's getting advantages, and then there's blatant cheating.
Yeah. The best person to probably, not in terms of cheating, obviously, but the best person to actually say that Schumacher is like is probably Verstappen. The fiery character, the determination to win at all costs. Max Verstappen has all of them that Schumacher had himself. So I actually think you could probably compare Schumacher and Verstappen, and a lot of what I see in Verstappen, I saw in Schumacher. So in terms of that, that's good. It's just like you would never compare Alain Prost to Lewis Hamilton either. You physically couldn't do it. And for me, I just think that F1 is everyone's best put in sort of these like eras and to do it like that. I can keep talking. It's fine. Do you want me?
Yeah, I'm trying to. But
the other thing is, if you think about it, if you think about it, the cars, they're just so different nowadays. They're a lot more. The technology has come a very long way. Since Schumacher.
The Schumacher era, we didn't have the halo system either. So
but back then they couldn't trace if you had if you look at the cars back then, they did have certain driver aids to them. They had traction control.
The cars were
some certain ABS as well, because they didn't have.
They were dog shit to drive though. They were dog shit to drive.
I'm sure 2004 was fucking that 2004 car was a solid car.
But most of the cars that Schumacher had were pretty hard to drive. I mean, I think back to the sort of 94 year when he was in the Benetton. I mean,
Senna thought he was cheating because of they thought they were using some sort of traction system.
But, but them cars were certainly no easy car to drive. But no, look, I think the best way to put these.
It's like I've said with like Jim. It's like with Jim Clark or something like that.
You'd never dream of comparing Jim Clark and Schumacher. You just couldn't.
Oh wait, Senna to Schumacher, because Senna's time was before Schumacher.
Yeah, well, obviously, if Senna didn't have his
I think if Senna didn't have his accident, we weren't like talking as Schumacher as a 7-time world champion.
No. Well, maybe we would have. I mean, maybe we would have, because Schumacher looked like he was better than Senna at that point. Now, I would never dream of ever saying that Schumacher was better than Senna. What I will say is, in that season, Schumacher looked like he had got the sort of the head of Senna, really. I mean, it would have certainly been interesting in the coming years. But yeah, you just can't compare the likes of Jim Clark and even Jackie Stewart to the likes of Schumacher, Hamilton, because they're just such different ages. Like, cars were different, Formula One was different. So I think it's just, era by era is the way and it's the way I do it in football as well. Like, if you think Sir Alex Ferguson was the best manager of his era, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the best manager of this era. Like,
Oh, don't. Yeah, so
I was wondering if anyone would notice that. To be fair.
Yeah, that was a bit slow on that one. No, just don't say Arteta, for God's sake.
Oh, he's the goat, mate. He's the goat.
Oh, shut up. Yes, Daniel, what do you expect from this Grand Prix?
Probably doesn't have a clue. He hasn't been watching.
I want it to be a very tight race. Whoever wins, isn't it? I watched it since 2010.
Well,
wow.
Yeah, he might be a bit behind. I don't know if you should be asking what he's expecting from the race, then, Steve.
Yeah, that's what I yeah, because that was
he's expecting 20 cars to start the race and one of them to at least So maybe when I said that I expect 20 cars to be driving around.
Well, I think the last F1 stream we did was a sort of a guide, wasn't it? So
sort of.
Say that.
I mean, Bargav was being a bit delusional, saying Ferrari is good. But...
Yeah, and I was trying to no, we're not let's get past that point. Let's just give him the basics first, right? So just give him the basic rules and regulations and teams and drivers, and then we'll start going on a bit more. But I think we will be doing some other streams about that at some other point. And definitely, I think what we should do is definitely do a track tier maker, or
maybe do that on like one of the checkered flag shows without a race weekend on.
Yeah, definitely.
Good idea.
That's definitely good.
I'm full of good ideas. I am absolutely full of them.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
I said the idea first.
Wow, I said when we could do it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, I am the master. Everyone pray to me.
Yeah, all right.
I'm sorry, I was just looking
BTEC James Corden.
No, James Corden is the BTEC Niall, mate. Big up, Charlie. Big up, Charlie.
Charlie,
right. I'm going to keep.
No one can.
So, predictions for qualifying, and then predictions for the. Should we do predictions for qualifying first, and then after qualifying we'll do a prediction for the?
Well, no, we can do prediction. Yeah, actually, that makes sense because we have
that makes sense.
No idea. We have no idea who is where right now.
No, because obviously there could still be sandbagging at the minute. So
I'd be surprised
if sandbagging basically done it is where they don't really show their full pace. So they don't actually go full pelt run a track.
They knock down a few engine. They take a few horses out of the engine.
Yeah, they basically turn a switch.
The sort of old fashioned. The old fashioned way is they just take a couple of horses away from that engine.
Yeah. So say an engine, it's an old power unit now. Jesus, I'll have to explain that.
Well, yeah, but I was trying to make it as basic as possible. Basic as possible.
I think if we do some sort of like the checker flow show later, we describe sort of how a power unit works or something like that, and
Well, not even I understand it completely.
I understand it. I understand
Yeah,
it.
but I think for the
But it's changing next year because they're taking out.
Yeah,
They're taking
maybe
out the
do.
MGUK.
Yeah, maybe do that next season so that if we have got any new people following us this year, just keep it basic, and then next season because we'll have to explain all the new rules and all of that coming in.
Could do.
I just think it'll be easier.
I think if
it'll be
people do
easier
want to know
for.
if there's nothing to talk about between said Grand Prix, then might do.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think it'll be a bit confusing for people's.
Yeah. Well, it's always confusing. So, I mean, I remember it first came out, it was fucking confusing. Like, I remember I heard the first engine noise in 2012 from the engine. And I was like, "Oh, you're kidding me!" It sounds like a dog. It sounds like dog shit, honestly. But yeah, racing qualifying predictions. Chris, what are you going for?
I think I have to go for. Are we just done for the top three?
Top three or top five. Top three.
Top three. I think I have to go for Verstappen on pole. I just think at the moment he's in pole position. I know, like I said, you can't judge it by practice, but I think he got stood so far. Second, third, Hounds second. I was to say Sir Lewis Hamilton second. Third.
Nope.
Yep.
You're a disgrace.
But third place. I would offer Bottas, but I wouldn't be surprised if Perez is above him.
Niall, what are you going for, mate?
Max Lewis Lando.
Max Lewis Lando.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if we look at Max through testing, through practice, he's been the strongest driver. Lewis should be there or thereabouts. I'd be surprised if he isn't. It'd be a really bad sign.
I think
if he isn't.
to be honest, I think even if the Mercedes are struggling in the car, the one thing you can guarantee with Lewis, he can get the most out of any sort of
that's why I've said
that's why Bottas
is.
That's why when Bottas was saying it was uncontrollable, I was like, yeah, if that was Hamilton saying that, then I would say there's
but the thing is, and I'll make the point on this is that's why I said Lewis second. But if Lewis isn't second and Lewis is further down the sort of standings, that's a concern for me. Well, not me personally. I couldn't give a shit. But for Mercedes personally,
you do. You'd be laughing your head off.
I would be laughing my head off. You are correct there. But in all honesty, that would be a concern for Mercedes and for Toto, because that would be a big concern, because Lewis is normally able to get the best out of these cars. And
of any situation.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, then maybe he should retire.
Okay. Daniel, dude. Should we ask what you're going to go for qualifying?
Verstappen 1, Hamilton 2, Bottas 3.
Okay. Me, I'm going to go for as much as I want to bet against Verstappen, you can't really, because he's the strongest out there in a minute. So Verstappen, Hamilton, because I know he can get the best out of any sort of situation, and unless the car is really that poor. So Hamilton second, and then third, I'm going to go Sergio. Third.
Fair shout.
I'm
surprised no one mentioned Sergio.
I think it's his first race. It's his first race. I wouldn't expect him to be jumping up and down.
But he was there about some points in the Red Bulls.
Yeah, but I think I think when you drive in the car with Angry, it will take him a couple of races. A bit like Danny Rick as well.
Yeah, he got a point.
Yeah. So, those are predictions for tomorrow. Don't forget, you can catch this, the Grand Prix at 2:30 in the afternoon. We've got the football banter coming up next at 7 for about an hour or an hour and a half. However, I feel like I want to do it for long. How long I want to do it for? Well, I should have as well. Ray from City Fan TV is going to be coming on for that.
Yeah, tuned.
Ray from City Fan TV.
No idea who he is.
As a Man City fan.
Well, I gathered that from when you said City Fan TV.
Yeah, but he's a really nice guy. He's got about 3,000 subscribers. He'll be coming on the channel for that.
I mean, I have no idea who he is, but I'm sure he's a decent lad.
Yeah. We did it for. We had him, Stephen, from Esteemed Company, and I can't remember the other. Yan City as well, all for the preview, and that was really good. So yeah, they'll be on as well. I think I've got a Chelsea fan coming on. There'll be loads of guests coming on, so there'll be an open panel. The link is in the description, but we will do 20 minutes and then we'll do a rotate of 3 or 4 people who have to come on. Especially if there are people that want to get on, we'll have to rotate.
Yeah.
But obviously,
I mean, I might.
Someone with like a Ray, for example, like the main panel, then we'll have sort of like 2 or 3 that are going to be on the main panel, but the others will just have to rotate round.
I might be there, might not. It really depends on how long the Chelsea show goes on.
Wicked.
Got a lot to
So
talk
catch about that about 7 for a nice Friday evening, just to cheer us all up for the weekend. Because I fucking need it, to be honest. I've had a really, really, really shit week. To be honest, really, really bad, really, really poor week. So I'm not going to say too much onto it, but that's why I really want fucking Hamilton to win, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I was just about to say, if you're pinning your hopes on Starboy fixing it for you, I wouldn't.
Yeah, not this weekend. Not this weekend.
Really.
If he does, though, I'll be bouncing off the ceiling.
If he does, then
if Verstappen stacks it in a wall at turn 1 and he goes on the winds and waves, oh my god, I will be fucking laughing my head off.
Verstappen is hardly going to be doing that. I mean,
well, he did it in Sakhir.
There's a difference. Max will be fucking first on the.
Well, it's kind of same for free.
Well, we covered that, and I'm sorry, like that's because he just didn't bother slowing down. If you just stopped and slowed down and go around the cars, he would have got round it.
Who needs to slow down when you got cars in front of you?
When you're going straight into a barrier, yeah, you do need to slow down.
Slow down.
Yeah, that's all. In hindsight, is a beautiful thing.
That's why I say this is why it would be interesting. You've got Hamilton with this experience or know how to win a title against Verstappen, who is. It's like on kind of Solskjaer with Man United a minute, that winning mentality. He hasn't got the title credential winning mentality yet. And winning that first title, you saw that Hamilton is really. Go on.
How embarrassed would you be if Lewis does fuck up and Max lifts up the beautiful trophy to my heart?
You don't, hang on.
I'll be there doing
Niall. You may not notice they don't give up the Drivers' Championship trophy in front of you.
I know, but I'll be there like this.
You won't be. They're doing a separate gala for all the special guests.
I know, but I'll be there.
I think it's bollocks. I think they should give it. Do you know what they should do? Do you know what I should do?
I'll be doing I'll be doing like the YMCA singing "We Are the Champions."
Would you agree to this? Hang on. Would you agree to this? They should do the top 3 drivers that win the Grand Prix at the last race, and then after that, the top 3 drivers that are in the championship after the last race to get the trophies.
I couldn't care less, mate.
No, because then you get to see him lift the Drivers' Championship trophy.
I'll be singing "We Are the Champions." I'll be singing "Champione, Champione."
That's what I would like to see. I've always wanted to see that.
And Stephen's there going to be like, "Oh my god!"
Sometime a Plymouth fan can do that.
Oh my god!
No, if he wins him, if he beats him in a straight fight, then I'll say, well done. You deserve
I'll
it.
be unbearable. I'll be unbearable.
You already are.
I'll say, well done. He beat Hamilton in a straight fight, and that's big. Then that's a hard thing to do.
And then I'll be walking up to all the Lewis fanboys with buckets collecting their tears. I'm like, tears from you, tears from you.
So
no, not you.
I know who's still at the top.
Not you, but I'll be walking up to all the Lewis fanboys going, tears from you, tears from you. Just
yeah,
like
those people are just those people are just like sometimes.
And then I'll see if we can filter.
They just can't accept sometimes that someone might actually be better in the season.
I'll see if we can do like a filtering process, and then we can like filter
the only one I didn't accept him winning. The only one I didn't accept him winning was 2016 because Rosberg fucking cheated for his way to that. I'm sorry. That and Mercedes' car for Hamilton was so fucking unreliable. It was like unreal. How the fuck?
Look, sometimes
How the hell in Malaysia? Whoa. How the hell in Malaysia? He is the only driver on that grid with a brand spanking new Mercedes engine that he collected for Spa, right? Only Mercedes powered car was that had a brand new power unit. Yet he was the only Mercedes car to catch fucking fire.
Do you want to know what the best bit from that radio was like? Oh no! And then the tears flowing from his visor. And then I put a bucket under his eyes to collect those tears for the rainforest.
Nah, do you know why? You know why Rosberg left? Because he knew he couldn't defend it.
Yeah, but who cares?
Yeah,
Lewis was
exactly because guess what? He had all the reliability in the world the next season, and he was smashed it.
Yeah, but what can I say?
And now who's sucking up to him?
No, look,
can I be your mate again? Can I be your mate again?
No, Stephen, you don't understand. Like, they were mates way before Formula One.
Yeah, I know they're way before Formula One.
Yeah, but 1 minute. One minute. Yeah, of course you would. That's natural for any friendship to go. 1 minute, Stephen, have you ever raced in Formula One?
No, but I've seen general respect between drivers. I mean, for Vettel and Hamilton are not even mates, but they've been.
Alan Prost and Ayrton Senna. Respect,
no. They never. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. We know that they don't like. We know they hate each other.
When you're in the same car, right? When you're in the same car,
or when you win a title race with someone else, right? When you have general respect.
1 minute. When you're in the same car. You're both racing for the title and you both want to win. There's, of course, going to be tension and issues, right? Now, that's natural in any title fight, right? Especially when you're friends.
I get that, whenever there were little bus stops, who was the one causing them?
Okay, so why
on the track?
So Lewis threw the cap at Nico. That's going to help the friendship have.
Oh, he did. Oh, come on. That's just
violently assaulted.
That was not fucking.
1 minute.
That was not
violently
violent.
assaulted Nico Rosberg.
He violently threw it back. He gave it to him.
Lewis violently assaulted Nico by throwing him that hat, and then Nico politely chucked it away.
What a load of bollocks.
Yeah, but how does that help the friendship? How does throwing a cap at someone help the relationship?
He gave him the cap, for God's sake. It's in the fucking through like that.
Stephen, how is that going to...
Because you lost the race, because you're shit.
Yeah, but how is that going to improve the relationship? That's not, right? Stuff like that is not going to help the situation.
Oh, really? So why is it in Abu Dhabi then, when he won a championship, he just went up and went, well done? Didn't do anything like that. Just went, well done.
But there's difference of personality.
Or 2015, all the way to 2015. All I hear from Nico behind me, he's going too slow. He's ruining my race. He's doing this. Well, fucking overtake him then.
He couldn't.
If he's going too slow, you overtake him and win the Grand Prix.
Lewis was doing it in the way that it was so hard to overtake because he was slowing down at the parts of the track you physically couldn't overtake in Abu Dhabi. which made
No,
it very
I'm talking about 2015. I'm not talking about 2016. 2016, I get because I know I get 2016 because you had to
2016
slow him down to get
20
two cars in front of him to try and win the
2016
title.
2016 was bang out of order, and he should be ashamed of himself.
No. Why? He's
He
fighting
should
for a title.
No, he should absolutely.
He's
Well,
fighting for
then
a title.
you can't complain about him in 2015. Then. At the end of the day,
No. You can because that is genuine trying to fight for a title. 2015, right? He's sitting there behind him, like in the third race, right?
Lewis was doing exactly the same.
No,
Lewis was on the thing.
I didn't really care about winning the race. I'm trying to win the title.
Look, at the end of the day, there's always going to have these issues. Both of them.
I'm telling you now. If 2014, if 2014, if Rosberg got away first in that Abu Dhabi race and weren't having the problems, I bet you guarantee it, he'd be doing the same.
We don't know. What I'm saying is both drivers had issues, and both drivers performed underhand tricks. Right, both of them did. It's happened in Formula One. It's happened in Formula One for years, and Schumacher, Senna, Prost. It's happened for years. Right, these things happen. This is what
I've never seen Hamilton deliberately drive into someone.
No, but I have seen Lewis literally slowing someone. I have seen Lewis slowing down his own teammate. That I have seen.
When?
Last race when he tried slowing Nico down, so Nico got overtaken.
That's because it was trying to win a championship.
And Toto was raging at that. Toto was not impressed.
What did you expect? He's trying to win a championship.
Yeah, but
the third race. No, the third race is bollocks because the third race is like if you think he's going too slow, overtake him and win the damn Grand Prix.
What I'm saying is that every driver has performed underhand tactics. They all have. They all haven't. There's always that thing that you do that isn't in the rule, but you sort of do it in a way to make it look like you're not sort of cheating. Every driver has done it. Like that's a fact. And for me, they've both done it. Lewis was no golden boy. Nico was no golden boy. It was two elite sportsmen.
I think Nico was a very serious worse of the two.
I would say it was quite even. I would say there wasn't an awful lot. I think Lewis, when he took Nico out in Spain, was disgraceful.
That was not Lewis.
Should have been slowing down. I mean, man tried overtaking him on the fucking grass. Like, it was horrific.
No, he was side by side with him, and then once we got side by side, he cut straight a fucking front across of him.
Lewis should have just.
Well, you can't do that.
Lewis
what do you expect? He's going to go on the grass.
Lewis should have waited patiently.
Well, maybe Rosberg should be in the right fucking gear mode.
Maybe Lewis shouldn't have took him out.
Maybe Nico should be having the right gear mode.
These are all ifs and buts.
Right, I'm sorry, but Hamilton has such an advantage in speed. Once he had to pick a side. He picked the inside line, and once he had the inside line, right, he'd gone straight across.
Yeah, but
straight across.
What I'm saying is every driver has done.
It's like you deliberately saw him in the mirror and then bang, I'm gonna take you.
At the end of the day, every sportsman's made mistakes. Lewis has made mistakes in his life.
I'm not saying he hasn't made mistakes.
Nico has made mistakes. Everyone has.
Monaco 2011. Look at that one.
The issue is all drivers do this because they want to win. And Lewis has been guilty of it before. Nico's been guilty. Max has been guilty. Senna's been guilty. Schumacher's been guilty. These are elite sportsmen wanting to win a driver's title. Like, me and you will never understand completely what goes on in their head.
I just think there was some that were pretty more deliberate than.
Yeah, but Lewis has done deliberate stuff as well. I'm not continuing this fight. What I'm saying is that everyone has done it in a time of their life.
Anyway, I've got to go off on a dinner before I start the show at 7. Anyway, so, but yeah, well, so qualifying 2:30 tomorrow. We've got Banter's show at 7, and then we've got. Are you coming? Am I coming on? The link will be in the description, mate. So if you want to get on early, once the stream starts, then you can come on. and then obviously the race will be covered on Sunday, and then watching the rest of the England game after that. So but anyway, thanks for everyone tuning in. Thanks for Chris, Daniel, and Niall for coming back on, and we'll be back. We'll be back at 7. So everyone, stay safe, stay well, and take care.